Hey there folks, I am Blunty, and last week I was in Japan, thanks to Olympus actually, who invited me along on a trip they put together for some of their buyers and a couple of journalists, and of course me, some chubby dude on YouTube who likes to yap on about camera gear and technology and stuff. How lucky do I feel at this point? Anyway, it was friggin' rad, and this video is about my adventure of the half day I spent wandering around CP Plus, which is Japan's big camera and photo imaging show expo thingy. It was filled with all kinds of nifty camera gear and support gear and accessories and quite a few quirky bits and pieces too, so I wanted to share with you a few things that caught my eye as I was wandering around the halls. Naturally, as my hosts were Olympus, I dropped by their booth first, but then again it was in prime position right near the front doors anyway, so it probably would have been my first port of call in any case. And while exploring their booth I saw the prototype mock-ups of the very tempting new Pro lenses for the Micro Four Third system, the wide-angle zoom, the 7-14mm f2.8, totally sexy, and the beefy new 300mm f4, which was surprisingly small when you compare it to an equivalent lens in the DSLR type gear. So this is sure to make many wildlife snappers wildly happy. And count on me having reviews as fast as I can get working models in my hands later this year, of course, especially that 7-14. That should be very cool. Now, I'm not much of a diver dude, but I do have to say the dive housings Olympus make for their staff seem really nicely done. Much more elegant and ergonomic when compared to the boxy monstrosities I've seen made for other cameras, so I don't know, if you scuba or snorkel or something, it might be worth checking in on. This caught my eye too. It was a prototype of a new video-centric audio recorder that should be making its way to shelves before this year gets too much older. It looked really well made and had all kinds of inputs and controls and analog dials and all that kind of stuff. They let me listen to a comparison recording from the unit and sort of normal on-camera audio too, and this thing's mics sounded jaw-droppingly good. I think my jaw actually went slack when I had the headphones on listening to it. I just stared at the guy, nodding my head and grinning like an idiot. Sony's booth was next. It was a stark contrast to Olympus's booth. Olympus was very focused on the photographic experience, while Sony devoted almost half their space to showing off the extremely clever technology normally buried inside their cameras. Like the quick focusing mechanisms in their lenses and the zippy focusing transitions made possible by the translucent mirror technology in their DSLRs. Well, they're technically not DSLRs, but you know what I mean, they're DSLR type alpha cameras. Anyway, I've reviewed these cameras before, but I just thought the rigs they had built to show off this technology was really clever. And new subscribers and regular viewers may already know, but I think Sony makes superb sensors. Their Exmo stuff lives inside many of my favourite cameras, Sony's and other brands as a matter of fact, and seeing one big silicon wafer full of full-frame Exmo chips it was just kind of nifty. And of course they had their newly announced stuff on show too. Of particular interest to me was of course the new 4K Handycam, which apparently uses the same 1-inch sensor from the RX100 Mark II cameras, which I already know does damn good video even in 1080p, so sticking them in a camera with enough processing power to do 4K sounds like a really good idea to me, and it should be a big upgrade from my not very trusty CX700 Handycam that has served me flawlessly for many years now. Then I spotted the exciting new A6000, the first camera to carry the new A series numbering from the series of cameras that were once known as the NEX line. It seems like a beast too. Very, very fast. And it handled really nicely too. Really looking forward to some playtime with this one. I expect it will be the new camera model to have from the E-mount packing line. So elsewhere in the show I saw Casio's shiny new camera, only notable in the fact that I never really see Casio gear in Australia these days. They're pretty much non-existent on my shores, so I know nothing about it, but a very nice design I thought. Then there was Sigma's new lineup of wacky, slabby, full-frame Fovean Tech packing DP Merrill cameras, and I know to many of you that may have sounded like a complete line of gibberish. But if these cameras deliver on the promises they're making, they'll be damn awesome gear. Crazy high megapixel counts, very clever sensor technology, and bespoke lenses custom made for each different camera, and the more I looked, the more I started to really like the unusual design. But you know what, all that was very serious and businesslike and just got the job done. Then I heard the many whirrings and saw the flashing der blinken lights of the DJI booth. You know, the guys who make those awesome GoPro flying phantom quadcopters that have exploded in popularity over the last year or so. Now, I love camera hauling quadcopters. I'm still looking for an excuse to own one for myself. But for some people, while they are a groundbreaking tool for their craft of video and photography, for me, well, I really don't have much of a use for one, practically speaking. So yeah, pretty much just a wild toy for yours truly. But still, check out the big beastie. Look at all that glorious aeronautical engineering. Consider the amazing sensors and computing that keep these things in the air and agile beyond reckoning. And check out the fully remote controlled camera gimbal that can carry a pocket cinema camera or even a full-on camera like the GH3. It's just cool to watch, let alone own and operate one. I want one so badly. Best remote controlled toy ever! Oh, and plus the DJI stand had one of those nifty hologram projector rigs, so that was pretty sweet. Then something else I've got no practical use for struck me as very clever. Cases to let you mount an iPhone to binoculars, and telescopes, and spotting scopes and stuff. It's a nifty idea. I knew these things existed, but I've never come across them out in the world before. But eventually, like spotting a train wreck, I was drawn inexorably to Hasselblad's booth, where once more I was exposed to the hideous joke that are the recased Sony cameras. They're trying to sell at monumentally insane and frankly insulting markups for slapping some wood and metal over them and gluing on their logo. Hasselblad, just stop it. No one is taking this desperate shit seriously. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing the rest of us. You're making a joke out of your once universally respected brand. Just cut it out, please. Naturally, of course, there were more tripods than I could count. Well, probably not, but more than I wanted to count. There were quite a lot of tripods is the point I'm driving at here. Manfrotto seems to be evolving their line of smartphone accessories quite nicely too. Whatever this thing was called, I forget, I didn't get a shot of a label like an idiot. But it seemed like a compact and rather elegant solution. More lens adapters than you could ever need. This stuff is so hard to find back home, I can't help but take a good hard look at them whenever I come across them. And then there was this thing. Great name, nifty idea, nice execution, but apparently someone did once try to import them into Aussie shores and sell them on, but they didn't really sell well for some reason, which seems nuts to me. It's one of the most solidly built versions of this kind of camera stand that I've ever come across. Right next to that I found an extremely well-built GoPro cage, German made of course. They had some other cages for small cameras too, all built like military hardware, superb stuff. I really must remember to go googling for them, come to think of it. Now these, well, they struck me as kind of cheesy and cheap looking, but a custom fitted silicone camera sleeve could be very useful for the wilderness adventurous types, and they also had some stick-on leather like stuff for other compact and pocket cameras, which frankly, if I'm honest with you, just looked hideously disgusting. Repulsive, really. Then there was this, a preponderance of flashes. Like, seriously, a lot of flashes. Lots and lots and lots of flashes. I kept desperately hoping it wasn't some kind of prank setup, and at any moment they'd all fire simultaneously and my face would melt off. Some lovely pink and floral and dotty feminine bags and straps and stuff, because girls love the camera, I guess. Girls just want the C, apparently. These are cool little stick-on lenses for camera phones that look like little cameras. In fact, I later came across and purchased a pair of these in a store, and I'll do a video about them sometime soon, but I just thought it was a clever idea. Kind of nifty, cute. No one, and I mean no one, makes a prettier display for their lenses than Voigtlander. Every show I've been to, at home or abroad, their beautiful lenses are always stunningly displayed. Unfortunately, they're usually inside rather fingerprint-coated cases too, so it's tough to get a nice picture of them. Now then, Ricoh had some very nice Pentax accessories on show, apparently from their online store, including something I've never seen before, an awesome bespoke little belt pouch thingy for the wonderful Pentax Q system. It'll carry a camera body with a lens attached and another pair of lenses. It's just so lovely and elegant. I really hope it comes in black or something suitably less feminine than this eggshell colour number, because I think I'm going to have to try and get one. I love my Pentax Q. Pentax's demo stand for the excellent K3 was also directly up my alley. Oh my yes. Sadly, not a drop to drink, which seemed unfortunate, wasteful even. Wonder what they did with all this once the show was over. So anyway, CP Plus was pretty rad. Japan in general was even radder, so stay tuned for many more little adventures from my all too brief 4 days there. Oh, and if there's something you spotted in this video you think deserves a full-on review, let me know. I'll do my best to get the popular choices in hand. Thanks for watching, I am Blunty, and I'll catch you next time.